Here is my mum. It's not quite in full bloom, but we're having Hurricane Helen that the remnants are going to be coming tomorrow. So I want to get this recorded. I was trying to wait till it fully opened, but we're going to do it. Mums are so common. I think everybody knows they're called chrysanthemums, but most people call them mums. Some of them call it chrysanths. In this part of the country, I don't hear them called chrysanths very often. The word chrysanthemum is from Greek words kairos, which means gold, and anthemum, which means flower, or together gold flower. Now we know the most common colors for mums are purple and bright yellow, so I guess the bright yellow ones. But here I have one, I don't know what the variety is actually, but I've had it here several years and I absolutely love the white. I'm not big on yellow. I like purple in my garden, but this is just gorgeousness. I do like the white centers. They're very daisy-like. Now, I have always had a practice to cut back mums by July 4th, and that's what I've done. If you don't cut them back by July 4th, at least I'm in zone 7A now, formerly 6B. I'm in Missouri, southeast Missouri, but even when, for those folks in St. Louis, the cut back by July 4th is an easy thing to remember. If you don't cut them back, they will bloom in July, and then they won't bloom now in the autumn. Mums are known as autumn or fall flowers, but they are only autumn or fall flowers if you cut them back and keep them from blooming earlier in the year. The July 4th is also the same date that I remember to wait to cut back irises. So irises bloom in the spring, and I wait till July 4th to take a pair of scissors to them and cut them back, or dig them up and move them. So cutting them back by July 4th is the main thing to remember. Otherwise, they are super, super, super easy to grow. They do, for me, tend to last only so many years. I had one before this one that lasted quite a few years, and it was, I measured it, I think it was at least 8 feet wide, or an 8 feet circumference. It was huge. So sometimes these mums can get very, very big. I generally will just go buy a mum in the store. They sell tons of them in pots, and I just put them directly in the ground. I know that I've read people saying there's hardy mums or not hardy mums or something like that, but I've never had any problem with my mums that I just buy in the store, the inexpensive ones coming back. Of course, this one that looks like Daisy, I think was more expensive. It was like a special variety. So a second tip that I have is to help them come back. When they finish blooming, I will just, cut these all the way back to the ground. Just take a pair of scissors. I use my scissors a lot in the garden, but I will keep some of that dead. Some of it I will get rid of, but I will keep some of that dead and just lay it on top of the area. Like, some of this is spread out, but the actual area of the plant is just a small spot in the middle. And I will take some of this and just lay it on top, and I make sure I leave it there until after the last frost in the spring. And that's always been my practice, and that helps the mums to survive any cold winters. Now, I don't like the look of it with the dead just laying there, but it works, and it's necessary ugly to have beautiful flowers at this time of year. Now, I can take a mum and divide it, and so if I wanted to, and I have, I'll show you here in a minute. I divided this early this spring, and I just stuck a shovel in it and took some of it and put it in the backyard, and you wouldn't believe how it's blooming in the backyard now. So I'll show you that after we're done with this plant. Mums thrive best in full sun, and this gets full sun right here. The common flowers have a yellow disc center of florets with rays of florets around those in the center. However, some varieties have no florets in the center. Flowers can be a single or a double. Flower heads can be a single or in clusters, as well as come in many sizes, shapes, and colors. So I have a class list that I'm going to put on my website. I always link my website page to the description of my YouTube video. So there's a National Chrysanthemum Society at mums.org. I love that, so simple and short. Although it looks like they're only in 8 states with chapters so far. So I guess you could join that and start your own mums chapter where you live if there's not one there already. They have an annual national show, and the judging includes 13 classes of mums, and they have drawings of each on their website. So I'm linking the page on my website to where their website has these drawings. So it seems there's a lot more to mums than the basics we see everywhere in the stores in the autumn. And I wonder what class my mum falls into and where to purposefully purchase the different classes of mums. So class 1 is an irregular incurve. Class 2 says reflex. I'd have to study and learn more about these, but I'm just mentioning them so that you know these things are available in case you want to get into mums more, which I might. Class 3 is a regular incurve. 4 is decorative. 6 pom-pom. 5 intermediate incurve. 7 single or semi-double. 9 a spoon. 8 anemone. 10 quill. 12 brush and thistle. 11 spider, and 13 is unclassified or exotic. You see here are buds. That's what they look like before they bloom. Actually, over here in this section, you see they're not blooming at all, and so this is what they start looking out to be like before they advance to like that one right there, or these right here that are starting to open up. You see them coming out of the little bud. You cannot see the leaves very well because mine's all blooming, but here's one. They're little serrated edges to them. There's a bud. There's another good look at the leaves. So I'm going to stand up and look down on this mum patch, and you see it's really weird. Some of them are bright yellow. It's like some of the petals on some of the flowers are yellow instead of white. Now there is a mum video already from last year, but my mums are beginning to bloom. And I'm just mentioning them because they're the same. If a lot of the autumn flowers are this way, I have had to cut this back at least 3 times, and just to keep it this short, and that's actually pretty tall. But to keep them from blooming earlier in the year. Now here in my garden, this one's been here many years, and it's not gotten very big, but I just kind of cleaned up my garden this year, so I hope it has more space to grow. And I absolutely love this color. It's kind of more like a rust orange than a bright orange. Just beautiful. It's not in full bloom yet. It is close to this tree, so it gets some shade. It's also next to the fence. You can see it's getting ready to explode all these buds though. I think this one might be fully open. They're much smaller flowers. That one might be fully opened. And I guess you can kind of see the leaves better on this one. And I mentioned that I divided that one in the front yard, and this is it all divided. Look how huge it is. It's doing great. It's actually kind of a perfect spot for it. We have this river. When it rains, it's going to get going tonight, and if you've been watching my previous videos, we've been transplanting this sedum, and it's starting to take very well, and it's probably going to fill in right in front of that mum, but I think that mum is going to kind of hold that hill for us very nicely. So just as if you followed the other videos of us constructing this, I'm so happy to see the sedum taken off. Nothing to do with the mum video, but just to show the progress. So it's rooted well, and it's going to begin spreading for next year to cover in between the rocks. And actually, that white mum looks really great with the black rocks. What a contrast. I also have this one. It's behind this sign that we got for my husband's brother, John, when he died. And I put this behind it. It's not quite blooming all the way either, but it's a beautiful purple. Look at that color, and you see how different that is from the white and yellow one.